Welcome to the Capacity Podcast. I'm Gemma Kelly, a women's wellness coach and breathwork facilitator. And this podcast is for women who are strong, capable, and living very full lives. Women who care about their health and want to feel good in their bodies, but often feel this quiet pressure that they should be doing more, coping better, or just holding everything together. And what I've learned over the years is that most women don't have a motivation problem. They have a capacity problem. Their nervous systems are overloaded, their lives are full, and their bodies are just asking for a different kind of support. So in this podcast, we talk about breath work, movement, nervous system health, and what it really takes to rebuild your energy in modern life. So if this resonates with you, please make sure that you follow or subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes, and you can come and say hi on Instagram. I'm at Gemma Kelly Wellness. Thank you for being here. I'm really glad that you found this space. Let's get into today's episode. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Capacity Podcast. If you're new here, my name is Gemma Kelly and I'm a women's wellness coach and breathwork facilitator. This podcast is really a space where we talk honestly about women's health, nervous system well-being, and what it actually takes to live well in a very full life. And I want to start this next series with a little story. This is a little bonus episode. And this is my story and this is my why. Because before we talk about habits or stress or the nervous system, I think it's really important to talk about why this work exists at all. So over the next few episodes, I'm going to be talking about something that I call the capacity reset. And like I said, before I explain what it is, I really want to tell you where it all came from, because this didn't start as a clever idea for a program. It actually came from a period of my own life where I began to realize that the way that I had been living and working was no longer sustainable. So to back it all up, for most of my life, I have been someone who believed that if something wasn't working, the solution was simple. Just try harder and just do more, or just become more disciplined, be more organized, be more consistent. And if you work in the wellness space, that pressure can be even stronger, because when you're the coach or the trainer or the person people come to for advice, there's this quiet expectation that you should have everything together and that you should be the example. And you should know that what works. And for a long time, I really believed that too. I really put that pressure on myself. But life for me was very, very full. I have 2 children who I was looking after and running a business with multiple different strands to it. And at the same time, trying to build something really meaningful that was supporting my clients. And at the same time, managing the household and trying to stay strong and healthy myself and bring connection into my relationships. And underneath all of that was just this constant background pressure, this pressure just to keep going, to keep performing, to prove that my business would succeed and prove that I could essentially just hold everything together. And what I started to notice was that even though I had all of the knowledge about fitness, I'm qualified as a PT, and all of the knowledge about nutrition, I'm a nutrition coach, and all of the knowledge about health, and I've been in the health and wellness space for years. I have over 10,000 hours of experience working in the wellness industry. I still felt stretched and not necessarily broken, or at least not admitting to it, but and maybe not burnt out in a dramatic way, but just really stretched. And my sleep wasn't always consistent. And emotionally, I just felt like I was just holding a lot. There were moments where physically I was kind of with my kids and mentally I was somewhere else. thinking about what I needed to do next, or what I wasn't doing that I should be doing, or how could I make this better? And I was trying to squeeze the workouts into already full days, and at the same time managing the aches and pains that come with midlife, and feeling passionate about the work that I was doing. That's the other thing. I'm so passionate about the work that I'm doing. And because I run my own business, I'm often thinking about it a lot. But I'm also in the background wondering whether I can sustain it long term. And that was always something that was coming up for me. And around that time, I was in my second year of breathwork training, and I was going much deeper into myself, much deeper into my training, and learning a hell of a lot more about the nervous system and about regulation and about stress and how the body responds when pressure becomes constant. And things started to click. Things started to land and resonate, because I kind of realized that many of the women that I was working with were experienced exactly the same patterns. They were all intelligent women. They're all very, very capable, all very hardworking, and they all cared about their health, and they all knew what they should be doing, yet they were exhausted. And not because they lacked the discipline, even though that was the story that they might be telling themselves. And I've told myself that story too, but because they were carrying too much for too long. Families, work, mental load, emotional labor, expectations, financial pressures, and often just the invisible pressure that they're putting on themselves to keep being the strong one. And I realized something important. The question most wellness approaches asks is, how do we help women more? And how do we help them train harder? How can we make them more disciplined? How can we make them be more consistent? Because we know that to build strength, we need to be consistent. But the question that I started asking differently was, how do we help women rebuild their capacity? And how do we support the nervous system that is already holding all of this together? How do we help women recover from pressure rather than just absorb more of it? And the question eventually became what I now call the capacity reset. And this is a process, not a program. And I want to be really clear about that. This is a process. This is not a program. And the idea behind it is actually very simple and came from myself. It's not about fixing women. I'm just going to say that again because it's really important. It's not about fixing women. It's about supporting the system underneath everything. Because a woman's nervous system can be overloaded. And when a woman's nervous system is overloaded, everything becomes harder. The habits become harder. The sleep becomes harder. The energy becomes harder. Connection becomes harder. And when the nervous system begins to feel supported again, something really interesting happens. Energy returns. Clarity returns. Those habits begin to stick. And women start trusting their bodies again. And then life starts to feel a bit more manageable. Not perfect, but manageable. And the reason that I care so deeply about this work is because I see so many intelligent, extraordinary women living in this constant state of pressure. Women who are loving, capable, I'm going to say it again, intelligent and ambitious, yet quietly believing that they're failing or they're broken or they're falling apart because they can't keep pushing forever. And they don't need more pressure. And they don't need another program. Certainly not another fitness program. They need understanding and they need support. And they need a process that respects the life that they are actually living. Their life, not someone else's life. So over the next few episodes, we're going to explore this idea of capacity a little bit more deeply. And we're going to talk more about why high functioning women often feel exhausted. We're going to talk about the invisible patterns that drain the energy underneath, why habits can collapse under stress, and why many women begin to lose this trust in their bodies, particularly in midlife. And most importantly, we're going to talk about how we can begin to rebuild this capacity again. So thank you very much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode.